that was a brazen admission out there, really, from, from Eric Holder from the Department of Justice. And this was in response to a letter from Kentucky Senator Rand Paul asking specifically, can you kill an American citizen on U.S. soil? And so what they said is that, yes, the administration believes it does have that power under an extraordinary circumstance, but they did add that they had no intention of doing so. I don't know, Michael, is that supposed to make us feel better? It's like hey, don't worry, we can do it, but we promise, same thing with the NDAA, that we're not going to use this power.
Well, this is where the technology aspect to it sort of confuses the story, right? What if the question was, if there was some sort of Pearl Harbor type event, that's what they're saying. If there's some sort of Pearl Harbor or 9/11 type event, what if you used an F-16 to kill an American citizen? What if you had a situation where that's what they're saying? And under extraordinary circumstances, they can kill American citizens in some sort of state of war within the homeland. But this shouldn't be a surprise. Obama's favorite president, as we all know, is Lincoln. Lincoln decided to use the military force within the constitutional boundaries of the United States and kept the Union together. So in a certain way, it's not too surprising that at various times, different presidents have made these extraordinary claims, whether it's FDR throwing people in the internment camp, so this falls into that category of sort of historical sin that we're going to look back on. But they're going to be able to say, well, look, if we get attacked by aliens, we need the drones to protect us.
So some American citizen aliens that are out there. But that's the problem with, when you use language like that, too, when you say an extraordinary circumstance. What does that necessarily entail? Let me just show you a tweet, Sabrina, from Adam Serwer, who originally was reporting on this letter at Mother Jones. He said, people have very polarized reactions to, quote, extraordinary circumstances. Either they find it common sense / comforting or Orwellian.
Well, that's the thing, so much of, I think, the phraseology that they've used to outline, the legality of their drone program is very questionable and is open to so much interpretation. That's what makes it so difficult to sort of draw a line in terms of what actually is deemed as legal and what isn't. If you remember the memo, the leaked memo that it sort of provoked this renewed attention on the drone program, had deemed an imminent threat as sort of their legal justification for their drone program overseas. And here, on American soil, they're again using very uncertain language around what would make it legal for them to launch a targeted drone strike on U.S. soil. And kind of like we were saying, it's such a hypothetical situation, and it is sort of a move on their part to make people feel better and try to spark less opposition or outcry over that kind of thinking, because extraordinary circumstances and invoking 9/11, invoking Pearl Harbor, what they're doing is they're bringing to the fore the two greatest, what are seen as the two greatest terror attacks and tragedies to take place in the United States.
Well, of course,
that's how they're going to do this from their messaging perspective, and from just to sort of cover themselves. They want to say, if to prevent another 9/11, this is a sort of action the administration might have to take, when clearly there should be, given legal authorities in this sort of.
Well, you just said that's it. You said that to prevent another 9/11. I mean, that's interesting, right? If could they use this if they find some terrorists driving along the highway, are they going to blow somebody up here? I mean, that's the question. Because if after some sort of catastrophic event, it's going to be all glove situation off and anything goes. But the question is, would they have the legal authority? And they're sort of saying to prevent some sort of terrorist attack, could they do that?
That's the scary thing here, guys, though, right? I mean, once you start dealing in all of these hypotheticals, then you can come up with a million what-if scenarios. And this is something, though, that would have seemed completely crazy. We wouldn't have even been talking about years ago. And now we just move on from one hypothetical to the next that becomes more and more extreme. Can we kill an American citizen, without any due process? Now can we kill one on American soil? It's craziness.